And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the less chaotic version of our Sunday shows. We're here to go break down our entire slate for today's NFL and NBA action. We have a lot of great bets for you guys today. We have a couple basketball plays that are already live. For example, we got over here the Knicks game has already started. Looking at our plays, we have we took. Sorry, let me pull it. Why is my phone not loading? We took a nice little parlay for our parlay of the day. It was Gordon Hayward 15 points, RJ 15 points, Randall and Robinson 8 boards apiece. Currently on that, not looking the best right now, but it is the first quarter. These teams do tend to play better as we pick up. We also took Brandon Miller over 11.5 points, and that one's getting me nervous because he hurt his knee in the first quarter after dropping 11. I'm a little bit worried about what is going to happen, how they're going to play him, if they are going to play him the rest of the game today. So that's going to be something to look out for. But the Knicks are currently up 7. So if you took any money on that, there's that. The rest of our NBA plays today, we have the Clippers first quarter money line. Clippers have won the first quarter in 6 of their 9 games this year. And the Grizzlies have won the first quarter once this entire year. So this is just going to be an easy little quick cash, make you some money to start your night before we get you a little extra cash before Sunday Night Football. We took the Pacers team total over 115.5. There's only 2 games they did not hit this, and that was on a back-to-back after traveling back from Canada. So, and most teams usually struggle when they come in to and from Canada. So I really like the Pacers team total here. We kind of saw with the Sixers last week when they played a Sunday game, when they played a Saturday afternoon game, when they're playing these afternoon games, their defense kind of goes down. They're kind of hoping the other team just misses shots. So I really like the over for this team that's scoring 130, 140 points a game. And we took Jokic's PRA. 2 games so far this year without Jamal Murray. Jokic is averaging 35, 15, and 12. So that's 62 points, rebounds, assists right there. So 51 is an easy target to hit. So those are our NBA plays today. We really focused on props because there was not Sundays are a weird day for NBA. There's a lot of lines that are kind of iffy. So it was better just to stay away from it. I might drop my phone. Going on to the NFL, what you guys are all waiting for. So our first play is Green Bay +3. It might be a personal play. It might be a hatred thing. I cannot stand the Steelers. I do not like taking the Steelers. And even though the Packers have not been the best, the one true kind of outlier in this is both of these quarterbacks have struggled up to the 4th. So I think this game stays close up to the 4th, and we're going to see kind of an offensive showing from both teams. But I think this game stays close, and it stays within a 3-point margin. And I think the Packers are going to win. But it's the Packers. They have not been the best this year, so I took the points just to cover. We have, as we said on the 11 o'clock show or 10 o'clock show, we have Green Bay and Pittsburgh under 19 first half points. Like I said, these 2 quarterbacks do not like to throw the ball in the first half. Their defensive front 4 has been great for both teams. Their box has been great for both teams. So there's not going to be a lot of running opportunities, not a lot of passing opportunities. It's going to be a struggle first half. Both of these teams play better after halftime because they're able to adjust. They don't really think about what's going on. They just think about how they're going to stop them. And that's what we're going to see a lot of this week. So I really like that one. We have the Saints -2.5. I know Dobbs had a great game last week, but that was against the Falcons defense that has been very shoddy. And the Falcons seem to be that team that it's always just, of course, the Falcons lost to a backup quarterback who had never met a single player on his team yet. Of course, the Falcons lost to a rookie quarterback who didn't really know what he was doing. He was just flinging the ball down the field. But I think the Saints are a different story. That was a rough game for them. So I think that's something they're really going to try to target, and they're really going to try to focus in and win this game because that division in the NFC South is very, very tight. So I think they're really going to be pushing to try to get something done here and get a win against a team that's just riddled with injuries. And Atlanta -2.5. Like we said, Kyler Murray past November, terrible. Bad quarterback, struggles. It's his first game back in over a year from an ACL injury. and we're going to have James Conner back for the first time. This is going to be a difficult game for him. No matter the defense, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be like when we saw I think it's going to be like when we saw Deshaun Watson come back. It took a couple games for him to get into rhythm. So I mean, really look for him. I don't think he's going to struggle per se. Like he's going to throw like a bunch of picks, but I think he's going to miss some targets. I think there's going to be a lot of like minor things that's going to hurt this team. So we're going to fade him this week. We're going to trust. This is the last week for the Falcons. If they can't cover the spread, then Falcons will be put on the banned list this year. We're going to go over the ban list at the end of the year and why we banned each team, just to kind of as a weird little flashback to this season. And on to player props. We have Alvin Kamara over 31.5 receiving yards and Kamara over 49.5 rushing yards. Kamara has been great in the 4 games he's been back. He's had over 90 yards receiving twice this year. He's been great, and I think the Vikings team is going to focus on Olave and Thomas and try to keep that deep ball out of play, which is going to result in a Kamara. Like we've said all year, the Saints do not have a good offensive line, and the Vikings have a solid, I don't want to say great, but in my opinion, they're decent front four that's going to be able to break through and force a lot of short passes. And I don't think Derek Carr is the answer out here. I think they're just stuck with him because they're in a division that doesn't really have anyone yet, and none of these teams are really in playoff contending modes other than the Saints. The Saints are if they have a better quarterback. So I think that he's just kind of stuck there, and we're going to see a lot of Kamara short passes. We also have Will Levis over 225 passing yards. I am big on Will Levis this week. The Buccaneers defense has gotten torched in back-to-back games. They gave up nearly 500 yards to a rookie, and Josh Allen was able to torch them the week before. I think the matchup before that, when they played the Falcons, they got torched too. So something is going on that people have figured out about this Buccaneers defense. I think Vrabel is smart enough to figure that out, and because you always have to worry about Derrick Henry, it's going to leave a lot of passing options open for Levis later in the game. And I think this game is going to be a lot closer than some people think. And because of that, it's going to be a lot of Will Levis passing down the stretch. So give me his over passing yards. If you want to put like 200 and parlay it with something else to kind of lower the odds, I like that. But 225 is his line, and I really, really love that one. So our next one is St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown over 83.5 yards. He's hit this nearly every game this year. Amon-Ra is probably going to finish this year wide receiver 1 if Tyreek Hill doesn't continue the way he's playing. He's a very quiet player to really watch, but I think he has a big game against the secondary that's just hurting in LA. And the other one from this game is we have Eckler under 49.5. Eckler has not been the best last couple of games, and I think part of that is due to Justin Herbert just not been kind of in a slump the last couple of weeks, and because of that, Eckler's gonna be utilized a lot. But the Lions defense is prepared for that, and they have a great front seven to kind of contend and shut down Eckler. So unless he breaks a big 30-yard run, I don't see it happening. I think he goes under. I'll gladly fade him this week. And then our last play, this one we kind of snuck in there at the end for a little half-unit play. It's one of my favorites. It's going to be Josh Dobbs over 27.5 rushing yards. He's hit this nearly every week. He can scramble, and because of their deep ball threats, you have to kind of watch them, so you can't really give him space. He's been scrambling 5-10 yards when it's 2-minute drills. He has been scrambling constantly and is able to put the ball on the ground, get the first downs they need in that 27 yards this week. That one's a lean. I didn't really put a lot onto it. So there we go. And so again, we're going to go. So our first play we posted today, we had Colts money line. So that cashed. If you took the spread, that cashed. And we also had a teaser for that too. That has cashed. We're going to do a quick update on our next game in our parlay. RJ Barrett, we need 1 more 3. Hayward, we're still waiting on points, but RJ needs 6 more points. Randall needs to crash the boards. and Mitchell Robinson's looking good. We're still waiting to hear about Brandon Miller, so once we hear about that, we'll know about that one. But it's going to be a heartbreaker if that loses by 1 point because of a first quarter injury. So there we have it. Those are all of our plays for the NFL tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you guys find us at. Make sure you like, subscribe to our channel as well as to Gotham Gambling, as we keep trying to give you guys winning bets every single day. We try to find a way to get you guys some money. So with that being said, best of luck on your bets tonight. Best of luck on your parlays, and enjoy your weekend.